Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the stream. How is everyone today? DSP here, live on the stream. Today is Sunday, August 29th, 2021, and I welcome you all to a full day of streaming, my first of two gameplay streams for the day, coming up in just a few minutes after pre-stream. Hello, hello. I hope everyone is having a good weekend. Before we even, get to any kind of discussion of gaming, I feel that we should at least address the current news going on, especially the big news in the United States. I want to send well-intended wishes and, as many feelings of good luck and staying safe as I can down to the people in the southeastern U.S., in particular the Gulf Coast, Louisiana in particular. Those states down there in the southeastern United States are about to be, or are currently being, pummeled by a Category 4 storm. Essentially, people are saying it basically the same as, if not possibly even worse than Hurricane Katrina was in the mid-2000s. Now, for those of you who are not aware, because maybe you weren't around in the mid-2000s, maybe you just weren't paying attention in the mid-2000s, Hurricane Katrina essentially was a hurricane that no one in the United States was ready for. We had never seen anything like this, and people were not prepared for it. Entire major cities were wiped out and flooded and destroyed by this hurricane. It was so bad. I personally talked to people who told me that they lived down there and they were living on their rooftops for like 3 days because the waters had gone so high, you could not get to the ground. You had to basically just sit around and hope for the best. Pretty crazy. And, it was devastating. They weren't ready for it. It completely destroyed their infrastructure. There were, entire cities destroyed. People had to be relocated for a long time until they could rebuild. The whole infrastructure of the down south was rocked and destroyed. It wasn't until, I'd argue 2-3 years later where things kind of started to get back to normal after rebuilding and having businesses move back in and everything. Now, you would think that since that happened in the mid-2000s and it was so devastating, it was worldwide news, right? So many people lost their lives, so many people lost their homes, so many people lost their livelihood. You would think that they have hopefully protected better against it this time around. It's been, 15 years since there's been a hurricane that bad, and now here we are. So again, I hate the saying thoughts and prayers, because that thoughts and prayers are bullshit. I actually hope that, people are okay. They got to safety if they could, and if not, I certainly hope that, whatever protections they have put in place there, they're going to help these people out. That it's not nearly as bad as it was when Katrina blindsided everyone down there many years ago. Now, all that being said, I think this does open up the discussion about global warming and climate and how things are changing. At this point, I think you would be very hard-pressed to deny the fact that there is global warming changing our world. If, since Katrina, we have seen unprecedented hot temperatures worldwide, right? We have seen firsthand natural disasters all over the place. All this is happening around us. At this point, I don't know how you could deny that global warming is real. It's not political, it's science. If you deny science, you're a fool. Okay? At one point, it was political. You wanted to have all these politicians say, oh, global warming is not real. People just don't want you to use fossil fuels. They want to try to have other kinds of energy, make more money. That's not what it is. At this point, obviously, we have enough concrete scientific evidence to show that global warming is really happening, okay? I don't know what we can do to stop it or slow it down. Maybe it's inevitable at this point because we've now, done so much change to our planet. Who knows? But I think as a human race, what we need to do, and this is my opinion, you guys can disagree with me if you want, instead of saying we need to be resilient and we need to fight back against all these changes, I think what we really need to start doing is having a scientific analysis of what are the hot zones and what are the biggest risk zones. And sadly, having people say it ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there may very well be places on this planet that at one point were perfectly reasonable to live in. And at this point, since we know global warming is happening, and the weather is going to continuously get worse and worse and change, perhaps they're not able to be lived in anymore, but in any reasonable capacity. You know what I'm saying? Like, one hurricane hits, that's terrible. It was unprecedented. No one knew it was happening. A second hurricane hits, okay, well, we were kind of preparing for this time. But if it's going to keep happening every once in a while, every few years, you know what I mean? Like, we gotta get to the situation where maybe we just can't do this anymore, you know? And I think we as humans, as a race, have kind of had this, in the last 100 years, this feeling that, like, we are above everything else. We're smarter than everything around us. We can harness the power of the planet to do what we want. And therefore, we can do whatever we want. We don't have to live by the limitations of what we're being told. You know, I can live right next to an active volcano. I can live in an area where there's always avalanches. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just seems like that's like the human will is an unbeatable spirit. But at this point, now that we're seeing these changes happen to the climate, I don't know anymore. You know, this is just me thinking out loud. Certainly, I don't have scientific data in front of me or anything. But, you know, when I hear every year now, terrible weather here, all these things were destroyed, all these people die, like, that's fucking horrible. You know? And listen, I am all for the human spirit bouncing back and rebuilding, but rebuilding when it's just going to get knocked down again, I don't know. You know? And again, I'm not saying that's what's happening in the southeastern U.S. right now. This is the second time they've had a really bad hurricane in 15 years. So 15 years is a pretty good span, I would argue. But I think, again, what we need to do is start acknowledging the real problems on the planet, that global warming is real, and start having real scientific analysis of this situation. Instead of kind of just saying, oh, well, we'll build back and we'll be fine. Like, maybe not, you know. But again, I'm not a scientist. I'm not an expert. This is just my complete unqualified outsider viewpoint on stuff, okay? You can only rebound so many times, you know? So anyway, we shall see what happens. Hopefully the best. I'm hoping for the best, because like I said, the reason this is news is because this storm essentially is one of, if not the biggest storm since Katrina, and people are really comparing it to Katrina, saying this is that level of devastation, and, you know, hoping for the best that what they've put out down there is going to hold up, and they're going to be okay. When I was reading news stories this morning, people last night, because by the way, the storm just hit landfall like an hour or two ago, okay? Essentially last night people were trying to evacuate, okay? And when they were trying to, it was just impossible. I read some guy, he posted up on Twitter, he's like, so I was trying to evacuate overnight. I sat in traffic for 9 hours in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and it didn't move. So I can't leave. Like, I'm just stuck here. So people would have had to have evacuated 2-3 days ago if they actually wanted to get out of there, which is pretty scary. You know, most people think, oh, I can wait till the day before to evacuate. No, you would have had to evacuate 2-3 days ago. So there's literally millions of people stuck in that area, and they can't move. They're completely just stuck there. So, hopefully these people are okay. I wish them the best. If you live there, please be safe. Do as much as you can to be safe. And I really, really hope that we don't hear horror stories. Really. I don't want to, you know, horror stories of terrible things happening. We certainly have been through the ringer this last year and a half. We don't need more horror stories. We need better, happier stories. No more tragedy, you know. Had enough of this shit. So. Oh, man. Alright, anyway. So we got that out of the way. I really feel bad about it, obviously. Or else I wouldn't talk about it on my stream. Well, hopefully those people are okay. Now, let's get to business. Let's talk about my streams. Let's talk about what's going on today, my friends. So let's see. Today is Sunday. I got 2 more days left in the streaming week. Today and tomorrow. Incidentally, there's 2 more days left in my streaming month of August. Okay? Because when I have my day off on Tuesday, that's the last day of August. When I come back on Wednesday, it'll be September. Okay? So there's a few things to talk about. in regards to all of this. First of all, I'm excited for today. Today's going to be a very relaxing day, which is good because I feel like we all need a relaxing day, right? The first stream here is the continuation of Ghost of Tsushima, Iki Island DLC. I believe if you take a look at the amount of time I've played it, I think I'm roughly about 9 hours in at this point. And it's fun. It's a good combination of story elements, side content that's actually meaningful, and then other discovery stuff as well. It actually elaborates a lot on the earlier plot of Jin's history with his dad, which is kind of interesting because you didn't get a lot of information about Jin's dad in the original game. It was more about his relationship with his uncle. So getting to see more information about how his dad was as a commander and a person, pretty interesting. Okay, so I'm liking it so far. By the way, the game runs gorgeous on the PS5. It is really beautiful graphics, for sure. Combat, it's pretty much identical. They didn't add anything new to the combat. I guess they figured there were enough combat elements in the original game that they didn't need to add anything too new here. But that's fine. Like, I'm okay with it. I'm having a lot of fun with the DLC. If the reports are true, okay, likely I'll be doing this 2 more streams today and then probably 1 more stream later in the week. But it may be a little bit longer than that. It's not 100% concrete how long it is, because I've seen conflicting reports. I've seen like, oh, if you just do the story, then the game was only like, or the DLC is only like 10 hours long. But if you do the side content, you get up to 20 hours of content out of it. Now, I've done a lot of side content, so I gotta wonder how much is actually left in the side content wise, or before we mainly focus on the story. You know, I really don't know. I guess we'll see today, because today there's 1 major side quest left on the map, and then after that they're forcing you to do story. They're forcing you to take over the main base in the center of the map, which I guess is going to advance the plot line. So we'll see how that goes, okay? Later tonight, it's going to be the continuation of Microsoft Flight Simulator. I play this once a week on Sunday nights, and it's been a really chill experience. Tonight we're going to be going to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to start, and then we're going to see what else happens. I don't know where else we want to go. I'm hoping for other interesting world locations. One suggestion I got was a place in India that apparently would be much more entertaining than the Taj Mahal that I tried many weeks ago. Taj Mahal was kind of a bust, but I'm being told this area of India has a big, beautiful temple and then a bunch of city-like stuff that'll be way more entertaining to fly over. So I'm thinking maybe we'll do that, and then we'll do some other stuff too. Hope you'll join me for that tonight. That's 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Okay? Tomorrow is a big day, everyone, because, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, August 30th, I am going to be concluding my summer-long playthrough of Fallout New Vegas. This was a viewer's choice playthrough that you guys selected for me to play over the course of the summer. It pretty much filled the time absolutely perfectly. You know, I started around mid to late June, and here we are at the end of August, and we're going to finally say goodbye to New Vegas. We've done all the major DLCs. We've done most, if not all, the major plot lines in the game, including most of the major side content. I ended up getting a bunch of achievements in the game that I never got during my original runs, which is remarkable. I mean, this is a game that I played 10 years ago. Then I replayed again, and I still am getting achievements. That's pretty crazy when you think about it, right? So I'm pretty excited to be wrapping up this playthrough tomorrow. If you have been along for the ride, whether you watched on demand on stream over the course of the last 2.5 months, or maybe, whether you watched live on stream is what I meant to say, or if you watched on demand, you know, on YouTube at your own leisure, I hope that if you will join me, I can't speak today. Let's try this again. I hope that if you can join me, you will join me tomorrow. I'm like tongue-tied today, saying half of what I mean to say, right? So yes, I hope you'll join me tomorrow if you can. It should be good. We're going to finish up the DLC. It's the final battle of the DLC. And then after that, there's not much left. We're basically going to go to Mr. House, see what he wants us to do. There's probably not a heck of a lot left. If there's time, because I may actually have some time before the final battle, I might do some other optional side missions. And then the final battle, and then that's it, guys. So, should be exciting tomorrow, okay? And then tomorrow night, I'm going to be doing some more Psychonauts 2. Now, I have something to say about Psychonauts 2, everyone, so please listen up. And by the way, I am going to also give my opinions on the Call of Duty Vanguard alpha that I played last night. I had more than a few people ask me in stream chat already this morning to talk about it, so I will. But first of all, let's talk about Psychonauts 2, because I got something to say, okay? With no exaggeration, I'm 8 hours into Psychonauts 2, and I actually feel it's not only one of the best games of 2021, but if you want to know my honest opinion, I'm actually liking the game more than Ratchet and Clank. Like, I am. Now, don't get me wrong, Ratchet and Clank looked great, but I feel that Psychonauts 2, with the writing and the puzzles and the things in it, is actually a more interesting game to me. Like, Ratchet and Clank started off strong, but once you get about halfway into it, you realize the entire game is just running and shooting with a kind of really cliche plot that falls flat at the end of the game. Okay? The graphics are great, but that's about it. Psychonauts 2 actually has interesting and fun writing to the point where, like, I'm really interested to see what they throw at me next. I just entered someone's mind, and inside of their mind is a crazy game show, and I need to complete a game show dungeon doing all kinds of fun stuff. I'm like, this is interesting, like, really unique and interesting. They actually put a lot of effort into the game, but the funny thing that gets me about Psychonauts 2 is that no one is really playing it or talking about it. As I play the game, the attendance on the streams is the lowest I've seen for any game in a long-ass time. And I asked my audience, what do you think? And they're answering very matter-of-factly. They're like, well, you realize this game had zero advertising. Like, no one even knows the game exists. No one, you know what I mean? Like, no one is talking about it. And it's funny because on social media, I see people trying to convince people to play it. People like Major Nelson for Xbox and other influencers who actually are streamers are like, guys, no, really, we mean it. This is like one of the best games in a long time. You should totally check it out. And like, no one really is paying attention to it. And like, what is going on here? Like, to me, this is baffling because I thought this game would be big. Really, I did. But I guess what it is number one, the game plays like an old school platformer. And I hate to say it, but in the modern era, if you ain't one of the popular tropes of gaming, right? If you're not an ultra hyped first person shooter, if you're not a Japanese style JRPG with anime-ish characters, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's all these different categories you can fall into. This game doesn't fall into any category that I can even think of. You know what I mean? It feels completely original, and it feels unique as hell. Quirky writing, fun gameplay, and I guess a lot of people don't really dig that in the modern gaming era. They're looking for things that are falling into established things that they're used to playing and seeing. And when you play something completely unique like this, maybe it doesn't, it finds itself in a situation where it can't really fit into anything. And that could make it a hard sell, I guess, for people. I guess, again, I'm just assuming. I don't really know. I'm not sure what's really going on with the game that it's not catching on. Because for me, I absolutely am loving it. Yesterday, I went into a whole new area where it's open world. We were exploring. We're finding all these optional items. We're solving optional puzzles. New plot lines were opening up. Right? Like, seriously, it was really, really good. The other thing is, and I hate to say it, I really feel like this game didn't get any advertisement. Like, when you really think about it, right? Where did you see anyone advertising or talking about Psychonauts 2? The game itself, the original franchise, is from the mid-2000s, okay? It took them 16 effing years to make the sequel, right? So it took them an exceptionally long time to make the sequel. So maybe that's a part of it. Maybe it is that the fan base is there, but the fan base is so minuscule at this point that the people who liked the original game have moved on, right? Or there are people like me who, yeah, I've been around the block, I've been playing games, but, you know, me versus the whole new 2 gaming generations that came after that, you know what I'm saying? Maybe there's just not a big enough group. But to me, I'm actually surprised. Really, I'm surprised that the reaction to this game is, wow, it's boring, it's not interesting, you know, we're engaged. Like, even the people who are on the streams, I'm trying to engage them in the game, and they won't. They're like, start talking about other stuff. It's frustrating. Absolutely, it's frustrating when I'm really, really enjoying a game, and my audience is not enjoying the same game that I'm playing. I just don't, that disconnect is one of the biggest pet peeves I have as a content creator, is when I'm really enjoying something I'm doing, but the audience isn't, and then there's this big disconnect, and I don't know what to really do about it, you know? That is absolutely the situation with this game right now. So, for me, I'm loving it. I can't wait to play more on Monday night. But I gotta wonder, are people going to turn out? Are people going to come and support? Are people going to even care about this game? Or is this game going to be, I play it for another 10, 15 hours, and every stream is abysmally slow and no one shows up, you know? Barrel Shroud said, well, you know, if Raz, that's the name of the main character, Rasputin. If Raz had grenade launcher and an M4, they'd probably like the game. Yeah, so I don't know. Let's continue to play. Like I said, the next stream is Monday night. Let's see how the stream goes, okay? And let's go from there, and let's hope for the best, because I really like the game, and I hope that it'll pick up and people will come and join us and chill with us as I play. It's such a good game. All right? Now, one quick thing before we move on to the schedule for the rest of the week, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, today and tomorrow are the final 2 streaming days of the month. The month ends on Tuesday when it's my day off, okay? We are currently at 224 members on the channel here. DSPGaming on YouTube. We're 224, all right? Out of the 250 membership goal, and you might say 250, I thought originally it was much higher than that. You're right, it was. But what ended up happening was a lot of things changed this month, you know. Things slowed down a bit. There really weren't many or any reasons to kind of tune into the channel unless you were already a channel regular, because let's face it, there were pretty much no new releases to write home about this month outside of, like I'm talking about, Psychonauts 2 that's not really getting much attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, there were DLC expansions. I was finishing up ongoing playthroughs and re-releases, and there really wasn't much outside of maybe a few little indie gems like 12 Minutes or Last Stop that really brought people to the streams this month, okay? So, certainly, I didn't get much growth, if any growth, on the channel this month. I feel like this will change in the coming months as I start to play all the new releases and everything coming out. You know, these are the games that people hype up and are anticipating heavily, so hopefully, once those start to come out, we'll start to get a big natural boost of support here on the channel and a lot more members. But, as of right now, memberships have stagnated. So I lowered the goal for the month from 275 to 250, all right? But sadly, here's what's happening. Every day we get, like, maybe 4 or 5 people who become members, and then, like, 4 or 5 memberships expire and don't auto-renew. So we've been going up, down for the past 2 days, and I haven't been able to maintain any growth because they keep, you know, whatever we do, it's like we do 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. You know what I mean? So with today and tomorrow left, here's the deal. We very well could hit this membership goal, but we need a rally of people who've kind of been sitting in the wings waiting to become a member to become a member. It's that simple. That has to happen in the next 2 days. If we do this, if we hit the 250 members, I'm going to be doing a marathon next weekend on Saturday, September 4th. All right? So that's pretty good. And within a week, you're going to get an instant gratification, right? You're going to get a marathon. Now, during said marathon, it's either going to be an Indies marathon or a Game Pass marathon, because that's really the only things that we have time to do. And what we'll do is over the course of this week, gauge interest on what you guys want. Perhaps there'd be a stream where we jump onto Game Pass and kind of look around and pick a few games to play or something like that. Okay? In addition to that, there will be a live edition of Feasting with the King. All right? This will be the new month, so a new episode of Feasting with the King will take place during said marathon, and it will not be fast food related. I'm going to make sure there's absolutely no fast food involved at all in this event. Instead, it's going to be, you know, real authentic cuisine of something that I'm not used to eating. So, you know, for example, the first time we did Feasting with the King, it was Indian food. And I tried out goat curry and this other kind of tandoori chicken that was very good. And that was a really good episode. Now, I'm not saying that the last episode with Sonic fast food with that giant coney hot dog wasn't entertaining. I'm just saying that I want to try other things that I've never done before rather than things that I kind of know what it already is, okay? So likely we would do things like Thai food, Mexican food, stuff like that. You know what I mean? And we, again, once we determine during the course of the week what kind of food, then we would order together on Saturday morning. It would be delivered during the stream, and I'd be doing the live episode with you guys, okay? So I want to do it. I would love to do this, but we gotta get some motivation here for people to support the channel. All right, it definitely has been waning a bit the past couple of weeks, admittedly, and I don't, you know, obviously that's disheartening to me. We're all having a good time here, chilling on the streams, And I hope that more people will be opened up to the possibility of becoming channel members to make this marathon happen. But we only have today and tomorrow. That is it. So I'm looking at a lot of people in chat here who I know either you've been a channel member before or you know that you could become a member and you've just been holding off, possibly because you're waiting for the right time. I would argue now is the time. All right? Now would be the time to take action on this, because we want to have another episode of Feasting with the King. We want to have a fun marathon next weekend, right? I would love that. So please consider it. If you can't do it, that's okay. I'm not trying to pressure anyone to do something that they're not comfortable doing or they can't do comfortably. You know what I mean? I never ask for anyone to go above and beyond their means to support me. That's ridiculous. Absolutely not. It's you take care of yourself first. Then you worry about, oh, here's someone who I watch who entertains me on a daily basis and I want to help them out. You worry about me second, you first, man. It's always about you. It's always, you got to take care of yourself, man. All right? So please don't go crazy. But I'm just saying, for those who sit here every day and chill with me and have a good time on streams, if you've been waiting, this is a great opportunity. The next 2 days, we only need 26 people to do it out of the hundreds that watch every day. This is not an unreasonable expectation or request. This is very reasonable to think that we could hit this, okay? So let's do it, right? Let's do it. Let's do it together, guys. Come on. All right? I'd be more than happy to announce we hit it and then have this fun marathon next weekend. I hope we can do it. If we don't, we don't. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to cry about it, but at the same time, it would really be awesome if we could rally and do it. Okay? Fair enough? Fair enough. Okay. Alrighty then. Alright, guys. So now let's talk about the rest of the week. Alright, shall we? So here's the deal. I just told you basically what's going on for now, but the rest of the week is going to be a balance between things I'm already doing and basically, it's going to be a shorter week. This is a weird week. Allow me to explain what's going on, because I already kind of explained it yesterday, but I know some of you were not here yesterday. The next couple of weeks, my schedule is going to be very odd, okay? And I'm just going to try to explain this. My wife's work schedule is kind of weird and screwed up right now. There's a little bit of transitioning going on at her job that kind of screwed up her work schedule. And on top of that, I want to celebrate my wife's birthday next weekend, all right? So the only way we could make this work, along with appointments that we have to do, because originally we were supposed to have an appointment tomorrow, and because of my wife's work changing her schedule, we had to cancel the appointment and postpone it, which is not cool. You know, it takes a long time to make certain kinds of appointments, in particular medical appointments, and then having to be forced to move our appointments because someone decides, oh, we're changing the work schedule without telling you ahead of time is pretty messed up, admittedly, all right? But we're in this situation. We're going to be adults about it. We have to adjust the schedule. All right? So here's what's going on. I'm streaming today and tomorrow. I'm not here on Tuesday. That's my normal day off for the week. I'm going to be here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Okay? I'm going to be here those 4 days to stream with you guys. I'm not going to be here on Sunday. On Sunday, I'm going to be spending time with my wife. Okay? Then I'm going to be here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But then my actual next normal day off is actually going to be that Thursday. So I know that sounds weird, because essentially that means I have Tuesday off, then I have Sunday off, then the next week I have a Thursday off. It's really weird. I know. And it's going to confuse people, and undoubtedly you're going to have people showing up and saying, oh, where's Phil? Or people, here who are going to not be here on days when they think I'm not here, but I will be here. It's going to be very confusing. Okay? It's going to be very confusing. And I know. I apologize for this. What I can tell you is this. Once we get through the next couple of weeks that are going to be weird, all right, once we get into the second half of September, things should settle back down to how they normally were. They should go back to being like once a week, usually around the same day. That's my day off. And we'll be able to judge it more accurately what day it's going to be. That way it won't be, oh, this week it's Tuesday, this week it's Thursday, this week it's Sunday. Instead, it'll be more settled in again. And this is only happening again because there was a weird thing going on at Kat's job, and then on top of that, it's her birthday, and we want to spend the day together. So, all that going on, that's why it's going to be a little weird. So, this week is only a 4-day streaming week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. All right? So, what I'm thinking is, on Wednesday, probably do more Ghost of Tsushima DLC, and that may be the conclusion of the DLC or not. I'm not sure how much we have left in the DLC after today. I'm thinking we'll need at least one more stream, so it may be Wednesday. And I believe, I'm trying to remember, but I think one of the nights I said I'm probably going to do either Halo Master Chief Collection or Grounded, because those are both games on Game Pass that I've wanted to play more of and haven't really had opportunity to play as much as I would like because I've been doing so much other stuff, all right? At the same time, yes, there will be more Psychonauts 2, and that's going to be balanced likely with like Hades or something like that, because definitely I like Hades a lot. I actually really like Hades. I'm liking Hades way more than I even expected that I would like it. And I'm having so much fun with the game that I want to keep playing it as much as I can. All right? So there's definitely going to be more Hades in the coming week. You're definitely going to see a late night stream of Street Fighter on Friday night like usual. All right? So that's what you can kind of expect. You can expect more Ghost of Tsushima DLC and likely the conclusion of that DLC, more Psychonauts 2, some more Hades, and some Street Fighter. Okay? Now, dependent on what happens with memberships, okay, if we hit the membership goal in the next 2 days, then there will be a fun marathon on Saturday. Like I said, likely Game Pass, because it seems like people love the Game Pass marathons, picking out random games on Game Pass and me checking them out. All right? So likely it'll be a Game Pass style marathon on Saturday with a live edition of Feasting with the King during that event. And then Sunday would be my next day off. Or if we don't have the marathon, then likely it's going to be Psychonauts 2, probably balanced with Microsoft Flight Simulator. Okay? Now, new games start to come out around September 7th. If you're not aware, on September 7th, it's Sonic Colors Ultimate coming out, and I do want to play that. Sonic Colors, I actually really enjoyed the game over 10 years ago on the Wii, and I actually want to play it again for sure. There's also, on the 10th, Life is Strange True Colors, all these color-themed games for some reason coming out next to each other. Tales of Arise also comes out on the 10th, but I'm definitely on the fence about playing it because I don't really want to start another lengthy RPG after I just finished Fallout. And on top of that, there's another lengthy RPG coming out later in the month that we'll talk about in a moment that I'm more interested in, but we'll see. Later on this month, we've got Deathloop, we've got Kena Bridge of Spirits, and we've got Lost Judgment, which is the other lengthy RPG. Okay? Now, here's the thing. I don't know how long it's going to take me to beat the DLC here for Ghost of Tsushima or Psychonauts 2. If one of these games ends up being completed in the next week, there is time to do something different. There is a new game that came out from a small studio. I think it's called is it Tortured Souls or Tormented Souls? I think it's Tormented Souls. Supposedly this game is a complete throwback to old school survival horror. Alright? And I'm excited for that because I like old school survivor horror. But the game didn't get much budget, and it certainly didn't get much advertisement. A few people have been kind of reaching out to me and telling me, hey, Phil, this game's actually quite good. You should check it out if you can, because it's unique and different and interesting. And I'm like, okay, if I have a chance, I will. So, if we do have time in the next 1 to 2 weeks, I will check it out. I've actually heard that the game isn't very long, that the game is about, maybe around 10 hours long, but it's not super long, and it actually is pretty interesting and intriguing. It's more about puzzles than actual combat, and a lot of people, like I said, they're comparing it to like the original Resident Evils, or maybe even like the original Silent Hill, versus, you know, more modernized survival horror games. So, you guys know I love survival horror, and we don't really have much going on in that avenue until Halloween, when we're going to have the new Dark Pictures anthology game, House of Ashes. So it'll be pretty cool to maybe play one in the early September. It's only a $20 game, by the way. Okay? So, if we have time for it, I'm probably going to do it in early September. Like I said, if I finish the Ghost of Tsushima DLC, or if I finish I almost said Ratchet and Clank. If I finish Psychonauts 2, then likely that would be the game that I interject in there. Alright, guys? Sound good? So that's kind of the schedule for the next few weeks. I hope that sounds good to everyone. You know, doing my best here to juggle what's out there and and keep you guys entertained. I realize that you know, it's not the hottest of hot new releases, you know, and there's not much I can really do about it. I'm you know, I want to play the stuff that's going to entertain you at the same time. You know, I can only play what's available. So I'm having a good time. I hope you guys are too. I hope you continue to come and support the channel. And, you know, as we head into the busy gaming season, once we get to the second half of September, then we're going to have some of the higher profile releases of the season come out. And then, you know, I feel like we'll definitely have more stuff to hook people and have more people coming into the channel to watch once the new releases start coming out. Undoubtedly. You know, it's like this every year. So, okay, folks. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm an independent content creator, and what that means is that I don't have any partnerships or sponsorships with anyone else. No company or anything is backing me. I'm just a guy doing his own thing, putting out streams every day, enjoying games, which has been my lifelong hobby, has been video games. I have a passion for them. I absolutely love playing a wide variety of games and sharing those experiences with you guys every day. I like having the fun conversations and social interactions we have on my streams. I love having that personal connection with you guys and being able to say thank you for every little contribution that comes in. I love what I do. And I want to say thank you because it is through your crowdfunding support that I am able to do what I could do for a living. If it weren't for you guys, I never would have been able to make $1 putting out videos on YouTube, and I certainly would have never had any support doing live streams. It's you guys coming out and saying, we like the way Phil does stuff. He does stuff differently from the other guys. He's not shilling. He's not taking paychecks. Instead, he's just here to have a good time with us, an honest time with us, and we support that and we appreciate that. And that's why I really love it that you guys come out every day and chill with me and support the streams, all right? So if that's what you like and you want to see it continue, please consider supporting the streams in one of the following methods that I'm about to describe. First of all, we already talked about channel memberships and how important it is to get them right now to try to make this marathon happen, but we didn't really talk about what you get for being a channel member. If you become a member of my channel, you get many benefits, including getting a highlighted name in chat, getting a chat crown badge next to your name to show how long you've supported the channel, getting access to all of my emotes, and on top of all of that stuff, you don't have to abide by the slow mode rules of the chat. There's many different benefits that you get for being a channel member, all right? Pretty awesome. Now, if you don't care about that, you could also do a super chat or a super sticker. Those are ways that you can contribute through YouTube itself, and that highlights your message in the chat so that it gets noticed, all right? All those are awesome. If you become a member or if you do a super chat, super sticker, all that stuff's much appreciated, and that supports the channel's health in the long run. That's something that when you contribute in that method, YouTube will pay me about that for that about once a month. It usually takes about a month to process, and I get good positive benefits from all that stuff, and I appreciate that kind of support, all right? But if you want to support me in the best possible way, quite frankly, the best way to support me is by tipping me. Why? Because when you tip me, you are directly giving me support that I get right now. It's something that I could put towards a bill today. It's something that come Tuesday I could use to buy groceries or get a meal out with my wife. You know what I'm saying? That's where the tips go. Very matter-of-factly, they go for direct expenses that I have every single day, all right? And I really am appreciative of those who tip me during the streams because that does help me out more. Now, that being said, okay, all that being said, hold on a second. My phone just vibrated. Uh-oh. Okay. It doesn't look like it's anything major. I was like, uh-oh, what's this? Okay, it's not that big of a deal. Good. Okay, so all that being said, the reason that I have, let me say this again. I'm screwing it up because now got interrupted and I'm stumbling over my own words. All that being said, because tipping is so important, because tipping is the best way to support me, I have reward tiers set up for those who tip. So, for example, if we raise $50 in total tips today, I'll put on a pair of Gunner glasses. It looks kind of silly. If we raise $100 in tips today, you guys get to vote on a vest for me to wear. Now, yesterday, on my earlier stream, we did hit that goal, and I wore the platinum vest. So that means today the vests that are eligible would be the beige, the blue, the denim, and the camo vests, okay? Jasper is currently on top of my chair grooming my head. He just jumped up on the chair. Look at this. He jumped up on the chair and he started licking my hair out of nowhere. He's a nut. Look, he's touching me. Ah! Ah! He's licking the back of my head. Ah! He's attacking me viciously. Someone call animal control. Holy crap. What a knucklehead. This vicious brute is trying to eat me alive here on stream today. What is going on? Jasper Kitty, you're... Ah! He's out of control. He's absolutely out of control. You're a nut. What a silly kitty. Oh my goodness. Alright, I just wanted to show you because people love to see him on stream. Anyway, so, yes, we have reward. Let me get back to this. We have reward tiers in effect, all right? So if we do raise $50, it's Gunner Glasses. At $100, you get to choose a vest. If we hit the whole goal of $150, okay? Ah, he's doing it again. If we hit the whole goal of $150, you get to vote on a hat for me to wear on the stream, okay? The hat choices today are as follows. The digital camo hat, the military style hat, the camo boonie hat, or the original cowboy hat. All of those are eligible for today if we do hit the $150 goal, all right? So, please consider contributing via tip if you support the channel. And if you want to help me out the most, that's the way to do it. Thank you in advance to anyone who does tip. I really appreciate your support. And let's make the goals happen. Now, in particular today, it would really be awesome if you guys could tip me. The reason being, I lost $200 in tips a couple days ago. I had a series of chargebacks that are still in limbo. And when they're in limbo, I lose that money. I might lose that money permanently if PayPal doesn't rule for me, and I hate to say it. When it goes into hold for this long, usually that means that money's gone. That really sucks, because I didn't do anything wrong to lose that money. It's just some asshole committing fraud. So it really blows, and I'm basically down a bunch of money this week. It would be great if we could make up for it. So please, if you support the channel, please tip me if you can, and thank you in advance. Okay? Fair enough? All right, no game news today to speak of. Like I said, really the only news that was going on today is about this hurricane, which is absolutely terrible. And again, I wish everyone the best. I hope everyone's safe. Outside of that, there's really no news going on. So what we will do is do some shout outs here to say thanks to those who've already contributed and maybe get a little bit of discussion going. So we start off with Jasper licking my foot and tickling me. You are full of energy today. He is. He's absolutely full of energy today. He's a nut. Okay. So we start off with the Blind Joker 4544, who did a super chat about an hour ago. Thank you to the Blind Joker. Must have been just when the stream first turned on. We also have Little Crow XX Gaming, who did a super chat about an hour ago. So thank you to Little Crow also for that super chat a little while ago there. Parasolo did a super chat about 35 minutes ago, and he said, "Sup, Phil, I went to the zoo for the first time in years. The food kiosks there are overpriced. Is it the same in the USA?" Oh, yeah. Any place you go to that's touristy. Seriously. A theme park, a zoo, you know, all that stuff is going to be incredibly overpriced. In fact, that's one of the main sources of income that these places get, is that they're almost scalping prices because they realize, hey, you're here. This is all that's available to you. This food kiosk or the restaurant that's in the park. You can't leave to get food and come back because then you got to pay for entry again. So you're locked in here, right? You're locked in here and you got to pay these prices. It's exactly the same when you go to the movie theater. They say, hey, no outside food or drink allowed in the movie theater. Oh, while you're in here, buy our food or drink. That's $8 for a bag of popcorn, right? $7 for a cup of soda. When you can buy a 2-liter of soda for 99 cents outside of the movie theater. That's how they roll. All right. So yeah, exorbitant prices everywhere when you go to any kind of a park or whatever. It's no different in the U.S. than where you are. I'm pretty used to it at this point. So, alrighty then. Thank you guys for the super chats. Our first tip of the day is from Rob. Thank you so much, Rob, for the tip. Let me get this up on the leaderboard. It's $10 tip, by the way. And let's see what he has to say. There we go. Okay, Rob says, just wanted to remind you that you help loads of people more than you even realize. Also, I love Icky Island. Thank you once again for truly caring about us stream regulars. Thank you, Rob. First of all, I really appreciate when you say stuff like that, because it's easy to forget. It is. It's easy to forget that what I do has meaning past just playing a silly video game and messing around with people on stream every day. It's easy to forget because, quite frankly, you know, there's so many people out there who crap on me and make me feel like dirt, and I'll be honest with you, it is frustrating, okay? It's very frustrating when I'm just trying to have fun with life and have fun with gaming, and you got people crapping on you constantly saying you're not worth anything, your content is trash, blah, blah, blah. And, of course, all the slander and shit against me on a constant basis, right? It's disheartening, and it makes me feel bad that maybe, you know, it makes you have feelings that maybe you're not good enough, you know? And the fact that I've been around the block, I've been here for 15 years, I almost said 13 years, doing what I do. And the fact that people still to this day come out and support me, right? On top of all the crap that I've been through and on top of all the crap that happens, right? The fact that people are still here to chill with me on a daily basis, you know, is an amazing thing, I feel. And I want to say thank you to everyone who does come and support. And the fact that people tell me every day, Phil, what you do has meaning. It ain't just about you playing games and dicking around. It really is about a feeling of, like, you know, belonging, a feeling of, like, being able to escape from stress and having a good time together and having that genuine feeling that, you know, what you do actually has meaning. You're toughing through tough times. You're persevering. And we're a part of that process. I've always said, you know, people say to me that I'm kind of like an underdog, right? I'm a guy who never had backing from anyone, never had support from anyone. I'm the whipping boy of the internet. People love to make fun of Dark Side Phil, right? Oh, let's just keep beating up on him even when he's in the toughest of times. Who cares? Keep piling on the guy. And it's tough. It is tough to kind of put up with that shit and keep pushing forward positively. There's times when I feel like, man, things are never going to turn around, or every effing time that it looks like I'm getting ahead, then something comes and bites me in the butt. How many times has that happened over the years, right? It's to the point where it's kind of like, I mean, I'll be honest, I kind of expect that it's just going to happen. I kind of expect that no matter how ahead I try to get or whatever, something's going to come and screw me over, and I'm never going to be at a position in my life where I kind of feel safe. And that's a shitty feeling, quite frankly. But at the very same time, you guys tell me that what I do has meaning. You guys tell me to keep toughing it out, right? And because of that, I do. And here we are. Did I ever think I'd be doing this for 13 years as a hobby, about 11 years as a job, that I would have a following worldwide that will support me no matter where I go and what I do, that through thick and thin, no matter whether I'm on Twitch or I'm on YouTube or I'm on this venue or that venue, I'm making an on-demand video or I'm doing a stream, that I would have people supporting me? No, I never fathomed it. Being honest, I never in a million years fathomed we'd be where we are today. But I'm appreciative of it. Really. I get to do what I love. I get to chill with awesome people on the internet. Yeah, there's trolling. Yeah, there's annoyances. But at the very same time, you know, every day, being able to do what I truly have a passion for and enjoy games is a pretty damn lucky and awesome thing, and I really am appreciative of it. So thank you to those of you who make it happen, man. Awesome. Thank you so much, okay? Alrighty then. Thank you, Rob, for the first tip of the day. I appreciate that. Jay Breezy did a $2 super chat and says, I've been a while since I made a mainstream. Work because of work. Well, Jay Breezy, it's appreciative to see you. Thank you for the contribution. Hope you enjoyed Ghost of Tsushima today. The DLC has been quite good, in my opinion. And hopefully it continues to be on that level today. All right, maybe some more fun haikus, right? Shout out to Keenan. Keenan has done a $4.20 tip and says, nothing, absolutely nothing. Appreciate you, Phil. I don't know particularly what the nothing reference is for, but I do appreciate the positive sentiment and obviously the tip. Thank you very much, Keenan, for that. And again, thank you all for the positive vibes this morning. Okay? All right, now, anything else anyone would like to talk about? Any other topics, hot topics, or things we'd like to get out of the way before we get ready for the Ghost of Tsushima stream? Because we're about to start. What I'm going to do is take a brief break like I always do, use the restroom, and then we'll get started. 3+ hours of Ghost of Tsushima gameplay here on the stream today. All right? Oh, that's right. I totally forgot. All right. I do want to talk about the Call of Duty Vanguard alpha from last night. I can't believe I totally forgot about this. Okay? So last night, people have been asking me all week, will I play the Call of Duty Vanguard alpha? And I was skeptical about doing it because, number one, I knew it ran on the Modern Warfare engine, which I don't like. Number two, I heard that it had limited game modes that don't sound like they're the main game modes of the game. And number three, on top of all of that, I'm not too sold about buying anything from Activision Blizzard right now anyway because of all the controversy going on at the studio being sued by the state of California. All right? So I don't know, you know, it's like the triple whammy of should I give a shit about this or not. But enough people pressured me over the week. They said, Phil, really, we would like your opinion. All right? So here's the deal. I played it last night for 2 hours. There's only one game mode available. I think it was called like Champions Hill or something like that. And what it was something very different from the main gameplay of what you would expect from Call of Duty. It's either 2v2 or 3v3 teams. All right? It's an elimination style, tournament style. Okay? Where you have to face, your team of 2 or 3 has to face off against another team of 2 or 3. And the way it worked was you would have set lives, all right? And as someone died, that would eliminate one of the lives from your team. And then after about, I think it was like 1 to 2 minutes of each match, it was fast and furious matchups. It would then either have you face another team, or it would have you go to a area where you could buy items. And the items would allow you to buy things such as armor for your body so you take less damage, or perks that make you have better combat abilities, or new weapons, that kind of stuff. You could also use money that you earned via kills to upgrade your weapons and stuff in this this alpha. So, on paper, the alpha sounded really good. I started playing it, and I'd argue the first half hour was kind of like, wow, this is a unique game mode. I've never really played anything like this in Call of Duty, so it was kind of interesting. The graphics are quite good. I mean, they're obviously on par with Modern Warfare from 2019, which is a good thing graphically. However, it is the engine of Modern Warfare from 2019. And what I mean by that is it has all the limitations of that engine. One of the major criticisms I had for Modern Warfare was that I felt everything was too animated and too sluggish. And what I mean by that is, I want to reload. Okay, here comes 4,000 frames of animation where the guy slowly pulls the gun, unclips, reclips. Even some guns just leading down the fucking sight takes forever because they fucking made the engine so sluggish. I think they wanted to make it realistic, but realistic does not actually equate to fun when you're trying to play a fucking game online. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that they understood that. I think they were going more for, we want the most hyper-realistic graphics, but it doesn't translate to fast enough action. I very personally prefer more quickly paced gameplay, such as what we just had in Black Ops Cold War. Like, I like that more, okay? So, just in general, I don't really like the engine anyway, all right? But on top of all of that, once I started playing it longer than a half hour, sadly, I hate to say it, I started starting to see all the same issues that we always see happen in Call of Duty Online play creeping up again. Oh, look, there's an enemy. I pull out my gun and I fire. It shows that I'm supposedly hitting this guy 5 to 10 times. I get hit twice, I'm dead. Shows the kill cam. Oh, look, on the kill cam, it shows he shot me way before I ever even saw him. There was one instance that pissed me off so much. I kept rage quitting because I didn't want to play anymore. So, this guy throws a flashbang, okay? It hits me, I'm stunned. Okay, fine. Then, next thing you know, I'm just dead. It doesn't show an explosion of a grenade. It doesn't show me getting shot by bullets. Nothing. You're just dead. Okay, then you go to the kill cam. Okay, how did I die? Well, according to the kill cam, the guy ran out from cover after he stunned me, aimed, fired, hit me 7 to 8 fucking times. Not like once or twice headshot. 7 to 8 bullets hit my body. I died, and that was it. Like, wait a minute. The game never even rendered the bullets. It never even showed any of this. And I'm supposed to think that this is like legitimate gameplay? You know? And that's how it is in Call of Duty. They never fix the netcode. You just die out of nowhere. You gotta look at the kill cam to even figure out what happened. And half the time what shows on the kill cam is not actually what happened on your end. So why are you even playing it? You know? So after playing it for like a half an hour, the fun factor of me playing it completely diminished. Because the connections were shit. And it kept doing stuff like this. Oh, look, here's 2 guys running at me. Okay, open fire. Hit them 8, 9 times. They don't go down, but then I go down instantly. Go to their kill cam. Oh, you actually didn't shoot them 8, 9 times. You only shot them once, but they hit you 8, 9 times according to their kill cam. Well, then why am I playing? And it's always like this in Call of Duty. They never improve the experience. And it frustrates the fuck out of me. It really does. Now, some people are asking, am I going to play the final game? I don't know, because in my opinion, this alpha was not representative of what the final game is going to be. Because number one, it was an alpha, so you know that they're going to change stuff anyway. But also, it wasn't even the standard game modes that you would play in the final game. You know what I'm saying? Like, Champions Hill? I mean, who the fuck's going to play that over team deathmatch or a battle royale, or you know what I'm saying? Call of Duty is not known for this new game mode. And it very well may be that the bad netcode of the game was way more exposed because you were on a much smaller map, okay? And essentially that map makes you see Fast and Furious things going on way more quickly than if you've been playing just a standard game. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe when you're playing standard team deathmatch, it won't be that big of a deal. I don't know. But there actually is going to be another beta in mid-September that's supposed to be an open beta for everyone that will have the regular game modes. So, oh, by the way, one other thing that definitely was interesting, okay? If you guys remember, when Black Ops Cold War first came out as a launch title for PS5, I heavily criticized it for the haptic feedback. Not because the haptic feedback wasn't good, because it was interesting. But the haptic feedback was causing me to constantly do melee attacks that I did not want. The haptic feedback was so strong on the PS5 controller that it made you do things you never actually wanted or asked for, okay? So that was very annoying to me. The haptic feedback in Vanguard is there. It's fun. It's kind of nice. It adds, definitely I would argue, it adds to the gameplay experience. And not once did I accidentally get a fucking move that I didn't want, you know? I don't know why this was such an issue in Black Ops Cold War for me, and it's not an issue at all in Vanguard. It's not that I've changed the way I play the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just seems like it was just a weird issue, and that may have been fixed because I didn't get one accidental melee attack at all. Maybe they realized having the haptics too strong in Black Ops Cold War is a negative, so they fixed it. I don't know. But there's definitely haptic improvement in this one, okay? So I would argue this game mode is not great, this Champions Hill. It's something different, and if you want to get all the variety out of the game when it comes out, it's definitely a mode you'll check out, but I don't know if anyone's going to play it at length. And I don't think that this actual alpha was a good representation of what the game's going to be when it finally comes out fully, simply because, simply because it's a mode that, you know, isn't common. And it might have actually exposed some of the issues with the netcode that you wouldn't necessarily see on a standard team deathmatch or standard map. So I'm going to play the other beta when it comes out in mid to late September. And I will let that beta be more representative of, you know, my choice to play or not play the game come later this year. Okay? So that's my answer. People ask me all about it. What did I think about it? I hope that makes sense, and I hope that explains. Okay? Fair enough? I did not hear that Ed Asner passed away. That is sad news. Rest in peace to Ed Asner. Famous actor. Okay. Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to think, is there anything else I need to cover, or can we go on break? Quite frankly, I'm not thinking of anything else that we really need to cover. Unless anyone else has a question or concern or a topic to talk about, I think we're going to go on break. It'll be about, 15-minute break or so. And then we'll get set up here for Ghost of Tsushima DLC. 3+ hours of fun development in the game. Okay? Sound good? I should play Tormented Souls, says Blue Flower. Like I said, if we have time, depending on how long this DLC is and how long Psychonauts 2 is, I would absolutely consider doing it. Absolutely. Sounds interesting to me. Sounds like an old school throwback that I would probably enjoy. So. Alright. Alright, ladies and gents, let's take a break. I'll be back soon. Thank you all for chilling with me, and I'll see you in a few for the DLC.